Hello, this afternoon I am going to take you through a gentle stretch and relaxation session. So it's just going to be a short one. We're going to do it seated on our knees and then an optional lie down or sit at the end. I'll talk you through it as we go, but as always, if there's anything you're not quite sure of, if anything doesn't feel right, then do listen to your body and feel free to comment or message if you have any questions about any of the movements. So we're going to work through the body, touching on a variety of areas that tend to hold tension, or particularly in this lockdown might be feeling a little bit stiff, like our hips if we're sitting down a bit more, or our shoulders if we're holding any tension in our shoulders. So we're going to start with our head. So what we're going to do is sit up nice and tall. You might want to sit on a cushion to make this a little bit more comfortable, or you could sit on a couple of books to raise yourself up a little bit if that feels a bit more comfortable to sit cross-legged. And what we're going to do to start is we're going to look to one side with our head, bring our gaze to, and bring it to my right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly drop my head down, and then bring it round to the other side. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to drop my head down, bring it round to the other side. Taking nice slow breaths as we do this, kind of drawing a U shape with your nose. Taking your time with it, starting to slow down a little bit if today's felt quite hectic for you. One more each side, slowly bringing it down. And then slowly bringing back. Fantastic. Bring your head back to centre. We're going to take it into a little spinal twist now. So you're going to bring your right hand and pop it on your left knee, so opposite hand, opposite knee. As we breathe in, we're going to sit up nice and tall. And as we breathe out, we're going to bring our other hand round. Bring our gaze across past our shoulder, getting a nice spinal twist. Again, as we sit up tall, we'll bring our body nice and long as we breathe in, and as we breathe out, twist a little bit more. We'll do one more here, breathing in, sitting up nice and tall, breathing out, twisting a little more, and then we'll float it slowly back to centre. And then we'll come the other way. So this time bring our left hand to right knee, opposite hand to opposite knee. Sit up nice and tall on that breath in. Breathe out, twisting round, looking over your shoulder. And again on that breath in, sitting up a little bit taller. Breathing out, twisting a little bit deeper. These stretches will look different for everyone, depending on your flexibility and mobility in different areas. So if your stretch is a little bit more, a bit less than mine, then that's no worries at all. Work for what feels like a right level for your body today. One last breath here, and then slowly float it back to centre. Next up, we are going to walk our hands forward. So we're going to place our hands out towards us, then slowly as we breathe out, walk our hands away from us, letting our head drop down. Again, this stretch might be quite little, so you might be resting with your hands just touching the mat, or your fingertips on the mat. You might be able to bring your hands quite far away from you and let your head drop quite far down. Find what feels nice for you today. Again, on that breath out, thinking long, breathing out, letting yourself relax towards the ground. Taking those nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. On your next breath out, we're going to walk the fingertips a little bit to our left, staying down if that feels comfortable. If this movement just doesn't feel nice, it feels like too much pressure on the back, then go back to those spinal twists that we started with. Take another couple of breaths here. Then walk it round back to centre, and then over to the right hand side, and again let it drop down. Again, a couple of nice breaths here. then slowly bring it back to centre and slowly walk your hands up. Fantastic. We are going to move on to our knees now. So when you're coming onto your knees, you might want a little bit of extra padding. So what you could do is if you've got a mat or a towel, you could fold it over to give yourself a little bit extra padding. Or you could take a cushion and come to kneel on your cushion if that feels nicer. We're going to do a little shoulder and upper body stretch. So what we're going to do is we're going to come onto our hands and knees. We'll bring one hand towards the centre, on with my right hand, and a little bit further forward. Then with my left hand, what I'm going to do is I'm going to thread it under my hand and reach across. I'm going to let my shoulder relax down towards the floor here, and I'm going to bring my right arm a little bit longer if it feels comfortable for me. We're going to take a couple of nice deep breaths here, feeling that nice stretch in the shoulders, in the back, in the spine. Really letting everything relax here. One more breath. Then I'm going to bring that hand back in, push up and return back to my hands and knees. Then I'm going to do the same on the other side. So I'm going to bring that hand to centre, my left hand now. My right hand I'm going to thread under and through, letting myself collapse down towards the ground. Extending that left hand out. Relaxing it here. Again, taking a nice few breaths here. It might feel more comfortable to keep your hand closer in. Find what feels comfortable and nice for your body today. One more breath here. And then slowly bring that hand back in, push it up and come back onto our hands and knees. You might want to reset yourself, make sure those knees are under your hips. Hands under your shoulders and a nice straight line from your head to your bum. We're going to take it into a cat-cow now. So what we're going to do is really nice for our spine, getting some movement along the back. So as we breathe in, we're going to let our belly button drop towards the floor, our gaze come up and create an arch with our back. So you're kind of creating a U shape with your back, letting your chest come forward and your gaze come up. Then as you breathe out, you're going to tuck your hips under, draw that belly button in and bring your gaze towards your knees, creating more of an N shape with the back. Then breathing in again, dropping that belly button down, letting your back arch a little bit, bring that gaze up, chest forward. And then again, breathing out, tucking the hips under, belly button coming, drawing in. And gaze towards knees, letting shoulder blades come apart. We're going to do one more here, dropping that belly button down towards the ground, gaze coming up, creating that arch with the back. Then tucking the hips under, drawing the shoulder blades apart, gaze towards the knees. As you breathe out. And then bring it back to centre here. We're going to take it into some hip circles now. So we're going to stay in this position, hands under shoulders. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be coming between this position and a child's pose, which is when our hips are back towards our heels. But we're going to do it in some circles. So you're going to imagine you're looking at yourself overhead and you'll be taking your hips into a circle motion. So let your hips drop down towards the left side. Come down to the ankles and then round towards the right side. So forming a circle with the hips. This might be quite a small circle, might be quite a big circle. Find what feels really nice for your body today. You might notice somewhere of particular tension. So for me, as my hips come kind of past my knees, I feel a little bit of tension there. So you want to slow it down there. Really enjoy that area. Stretching it out. One more circle this way. Come back to centre. We'll reverse the circle the other way. So bringing the hips down towards the right, back, and then bringing it forward via the left. Again, small or big circles. It might feel a little bit different on this side. Just notice where it feels different. If there's anywhere that feels tense, then maybe take your time through there. Might feel a little bit clicky. If it feels painful at all, then just stop it, maybe pause back in a child's pose. But hopefully you'll feel a nice release of some tension. One last circle here. Fantastic. And then bring it back into a child's pose. We're going to hold here. So hips come back towards ankles. Fingers can stay quite active. Head dropping down. We're going to hold here for a couple of breaths. This is my favourite stretch of all. I find it really nice and relaxing. If you don't, then maybe just come up to sit on your knees. Take a nice few deep breaths, relaxing your shoulders. And then we're going to slowly walk it up with our fingers onto our knees. We're going to take it into a hip flexor stretch now. So if we're sitting down a little bit more than normal, then it's quite likely that our hip flexors will feel a little bit tight. Those are the muscles along here. In this one, we're coming onto one foot. So if you feel a little bit wobbly, you might want to be near a wall or a chair, something that you can kind of hold on to support you in this movement. Again, you can roll under your knee to give it some padding if that feels nice. So we're going to bring one foot forward. We're going to push our hips forward. Then we're going to tilt our hips up and squeeze the bum cheek of the back leg. You want to feel an opening in the front of your hip on that back leg. If you feel a bit wobbly, you can hold on to the thing or bring your foot out a little bit wider. Again, we want to tilt and squeeze the bum cheek of the back leg, feeling that nice opening. We're going to hold here for 15 more seconds. You might want to increase that stretch, squeeze a little bit more and a breath out. 10 more seconds here. Lovely. Then we'll sit it back. Come back to kneeling, swap over sides. Again, push the hips forward, tilt the hips under, squeeze the bum cheek of that back leg. Feel that opening on the other side this time. Again, take a nice deep breath, relaxing those shoulders down. Option to hold on to something. We're going to hold for 10 more seconds here. Remember, you can increase that stretch slightly if it feels nice. Holding for final 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it down. Fantastic. We're going to head to lying down now. We're going to do one kind of mobility stretch lying down, and then we are going to have a little bit of relaxation. If lying down doesn't feel comfortable for you, then you can just do these seated. Do one more round of those spinal twists that we start with, and then do the relaxation time sitting however feels comfortable for you. But if it feels comfortable, then let's come to lying down. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring our knees in towards our chest, and we're going to take them in some circles here. You could do small circles, big circles. You could rock forward and back along the spine. Again, like with the other stretch, listening to your body. If bringing this around one particular way feels really nice, then do that. If there's anywhere that feels a bit tense, you want to give a little massage to, then rock around that area. Feels a little bit like a lower back massage, this one, as you kind of move your weight around. Fantastic. Lovely stuff. We're going to come to lying down now. So if it feels comfortable, bring your legs out straight. Relax your hands down beside you and take a couple of deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. You might want to take a moment to kind of scan through your body, starting with your toes and working upwards, noticing if anywhere it feels tense at all. If it does, then just take a couple of seconds to breathe out and relax those areas on your breath out. Nice deep breath out as we come to the end of our session. And just take a moment to thank yourself for coming to this session today, for relaxing, to take a moment to look after your body and to do something that feels good for it today. We'll finish by taking a full body stretch and bring our arms over your head, reach out fingers to toes. If you're sitting up, then you might want to bring your hands up over your head and stretch out. If you're lying down, when it comes to rolling on our side, so come side sitting, then push up with your hands. We're going to finish off our final couple of stretches sitting here. So bring your arms round, drop the chin down, stretching out our upper back, arms in a nice wide circle like you're hugging a tree. We're going to hold here for a second. And then bring your arms out wide, relax your shoulders down to stretch out your chest. We'll take a nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And give yourselves a little round of applause. Amazing stuff today. Like I said at the start, if you have any questions or feedback, if you have any workouts that you'd like to see that would be helpful for me to do, then do drop me a comment or a message. Thank you so much for joining today, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.